Imagine trying to track an animal that spends almost its entire life thousands of meters underwater. That is the exact challenge researchers face when studying the elusive family of marine mammals known as beaked whales, specifically the Cuvier's beaked whale. They grow up to 23 feet long and weigh nearly 7,000 pounds. They swim in temperate and tropical oceans all over the planet, yet they remain almost entirely invisible to us. We map the surface of the moon more easily than we track these creatures. They are incredibly skittish, actively fleeing from the sound of large ships when they are still miles away. When they do occasionally surface to breathe, they only stay up for a few brief minutes, barely making a splash before vanishing again. This extreme instinct for privacy defines the limits of traditional field biology. To understand how they live, researchers had to invent ways to observe them without ever actually looking at them. The solution relies on tiny technology. Researchers attach small, 5-gram, solar-powered satellite transmitters directly to the whales. They pair these tags with time-depth recorders to measure exactly how far down the animals go and drop acoustic hydrophones into the water to listen to the sounds of their dark environment. Once a tagged whale slips beneath the surface, the research team is flying blind. They can only wait on the surface, hoping the equipment holds together under extreme pressure, until the whale rises again and the data finally transmits. This fragile suite of electronics is our only tether to these animals, connecting human understanding to one of the most inaccessible environments on Earth. This chart shows the dive profile transmitted by one of those tags in 2014. The data logs a single dive plunging to 2,992 meters, nearly 2 miles down, and lasting for a staggering 222 minutes. To achieve this, the whale intentionally exhales almost all the air in its lungs before it begins the descent. This makes the whale negatively buoyant, allowing it to sink rapidly without expending extra energy. Getting rid of that air also removes empty spaces inside the body that would otherwise be crushed. As the whale passes 1,000 meters, its highly flexible rib cage safely collapses inward, structurally absorbing the immense hydrostatic pressure of the abyss. Deep into the dive, an extreme internal triage system takes over. The whale shuts down its digestion, liver, and kidney functions completely. It diverts all available oxygen strictly to the brain and the heart to keep itself alive during the hours spent in the dark. These extreme internal adaptations push the absolute limits of mammalian biology. They effectively turn a warm-blooded animal into a living, pressure-proof submarine. 2 miles down, no sunlight reaches the water. To navigate and hunt, the whale relies on an organ in its forehead called the melon. This rounded mass of fatty tissue acts as an acoustic lens, focusing sound waves to detect prey through echolocation. Once it locates a target, the Cuvier's beaked whale doesn't bite. Instead, specialized grooves in its throat expand rapidly, creating an inescapable vacuum that sucks up deep-sea squid whole. We are able to visualize this intense deep-sea hunt thanks to decades of careful research and tagging. If you want to keep exploring the hidden corners of our planet with us, take a second to subscribe to the channel. The tracking data proves that this animal has evolved specifically to dominate a pitch-black, freezing environment that would be instantly lethal to almost every other mammal on Earth. But those same underwater hydrophones also picked up a severe anomaly: the sudden, overwhelming noise of human-made mid-frequency active sonar. Because beaked whales rely so heavily on their sensitive hearing to survive, this intense acoustic pollution is agonizing. The loud sonar signals induce severe panic, forcing the whales to instantly abort their deep foraging dives and flee towards the surface. Surfacing too quickly triggers a physiological disaster. The rapid drop in pressure causes dissolved nitrogen in the whale's blood to expand into lethal gas bubbles. It is a severe case of decompression sickness, commonly known as the bends. The whale's greatest evolutionary strength, its hearing, has been weaponized by human noise pollution, resulting in devastating mass strandings on beaches around the world. The tracking data that exposed these tragedies also provided a clear path to fix them. By mapping exactly where the whales lived and dived, researchers convinced governments to establish strict naval exclusion zones, specifically in areas like the Canary Islands. After military sonar exercises were banned in those waters, mass strandings in the region plummeted to zero. The telemetry data translated directly into life-saving policy. Tracking technology has evolved into a literal defense mechanism. a way to shield these animals from the noise of a world they can't see. The ocean remains a vast, largely unexplored frontier, filled with creatures pushing the boundaries of what life can endure. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.